What's up, Cubs? Welcome to our first episode of Cubs on the Mic. We're your host, Hugo Pacheco,
and Suvir.
and today we're going to be discussing the health umbrella with Matthew Dombrowski. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, boys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're just gonna kick it off something pretty chill. How long have you been working out for?
So, I've always been around weightlifting, especially like working out and fitness in general. My dad's big on it. My mom and dad like love to go on hikes, love to work out every day. It's just kind of something that's been like instilled in me almost. So, I've always kind of been active, but like really starting to like lift seriously and trying to eat well. I'd say I did football freshman year, so that kind of like started it, but really like trying to eat well and lift good for probably like a year and a half, maybe. Like seriously.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So I have a friend, Jacob Uy. Yeah, he's the son of Mr. Uy. So we had started like I'd taken him to the gym one time in the morning as well, and he was like, he had something like a little pizza, and he was like, dude, I feel bad about eating this because now I'm going to the gym early morning, working out, and it's like you feel as if why am I gonna cheat my diet if I'm putting this much effort into my body, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, first thing with that is I hear Jacob Boy is an absolute beast, so he's able to get away with it. But I mean, like with that, you can eat whatever you want if you're making sure that like if you have a specific calorie goal, like if you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to eat less than your body, like the amount of calories your body needs to maintain just like a stable function. So that can be anywhere from like 500 calories less to like 200. It just really depends on the person. So if you're eating the amount of calories to lose weight, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you eat, I think, but I mean, I still eat pretty bad. I'm trying to clean it up, but like sometimes I'll like this morning I got a little lemon cake and that really made me pretty happy. But um, I mean, if you're pretty on it, I don't think it matters too much. Like especially at home, like I'll make sure that I'm eating good. My parents make sure I'm eating good. So it really just depends on how good you are with it. Like if you're eating like 3 lemon cakes a day and then you're going and then having like 3 In-N-Out burgers, like you might not be the best idea, but yeah, really just depends for the person.
Yeah. So do you also go to with your parents on hikes?
So actually this summer we went to Africa and we hiked Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, I had heard. Yeah, in biology, you were telling everyone.
Yeah, that was a big thing. My parents really wanted me to train before it, and like they were like training for like 4 months before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did that, but then they kind of got mad at me because I was just gonna test myself, see if I could do it without any training,
Okay. Yeah.
and ended up doing that, and actually finished first down the mountain, which was pretty cool
And without any training?
without any training.
Damn, bro.
But surreal experience. I mean, definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to go through mentally. Some day you have to wake up at 12 p.m. and you're hiking all the way up until what is it? Maybe like 4. So it's like close to 16-hour days. Especially for summit, you burn like 12,000 calories.
Yeah.
So for sure when I came back down, it was the best shape of my life, but I was struggling on the way up a little bit, but I mean, I don't know, I kind of forced myself to get to the top and that was really hard, but I mean, I did it. So definitely a cool thing to have, but I don't really like going on hikes with them because they want to go and then they're like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk another 100 feet and then we're going to sprint for 200 and then 30-second or 30-second interval and we're going to do that all the way up. I'm like, for me, hikes are more just like get out in nature and just enjoy the sights, enjoy just being able to, whether it's with my friends or whether just being able to get out and get some exercise. So I'll still go on hikes with my parents occasionally, but they're definitely a little OD about it. But
Yeah. No. I also went. I was hiking like I think last year. For a few weeks, I'd been hiking on Runyon Canyon, but then of course, sadly, we had the fires, right? And
yeah,
that whole area had gone burnt down, so that put like a stop to that. I'm thinking about starting up again, dude. I agree with you about how it's about like taking in the sights.
Yeah.
I mean, Runyon Canyon's more of a dry place, but yeah, still.
For sure.
Yeah. When you go to the gym, are you running a specific split?
So, really it depends. Like I'll try to stay with a just traditional chest, back and legs, but it depends like with baseball. Also because now we're in the beginning of baseball season, we'll lift like 2 or 3 times a week. So we'll like some days will be very leg oriented, some days will be very back oriented, not really too much chest, but very back and legs oriented. But so I mean it depends. Like some days I'll just be like so incredibly tired from lifts Monday. They work you pretty good that I'll say, hey, I didn't do chest today, but I will work in back the next day and then work in chest. So I make sure that I'm getting 2 days where I'm hitting each kind of group that I'm trying to hit. So I'll do like back and biceps, chest and triceps and shoulders, and do a day of cardio and abs. Just keep try to keep fit. But I mean, really just depends on what the days look like.
Yeah, and you work out at the school gym.
So yeah, when we do baseball lifts, I'll work out in the gym, but when I'm more of just myself or I'm with friends, like I'll either go with some of my buddies to like this gym called Bay Club in El Segundo. Super nice place. I don't have a membership, but I my buddies get me in, so that's cool. Not sneaking in, but there's like guest passes, so
Okay, yeah.
there. And then also I have some stuff at my house that I can use to work out, like dumbbells. We have kind of like a Smith machine. It's like a little less high tech, but
Oh, that's neat though.
yeah, it gets the job done. Can't complain.
Yeah. I'm currently running push-pull legs. You heard of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm doing I feel like that's working out the best for me. I mean, a large part of it's trying to filter out the advice when you're working out on your own. Because I had a friend who told me like do 2 sets to a failure on almost every exercise. But then I spoke to my cousin and he was like, "Hey, dude, you're begging for an injury. Like you should do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps." And so it's about filtering out a lot of that flow of information and deciding what's. I mean, how do you do that for yourself?
So it really like depends on the person. It's how your body works. It's how much you can lift. It's how many reps you can push. It's I'd say lifting, like you can have the muscles to lift 225 on bench, or you can squat 300. I don't care if you don't have the mental part of it, being able to say like, hey, I'm going to try to push myself for one more rep here and see how far I can go instead of just doing your 12 reps. Oh, that's easy. Okay, I'm done with my set.
Okay.
Like for me, what I personally do is I will do, like you said, 2 sets to failure, just because like I like the feeling of being exhausted from that first one. So the first one I'll do kind of a lighter weight, but do super high rep. Get myself a little warmed up. Just kind of get the joints going. My shoulder's pretty bad, so gotta get that sorted out. But after my what am I saying? After my first set, I will do my next set, and like for my dumbbells, it'll be the heaviest that it can go. I think it's like around 70 or something. Maybe 80. And I'll go and I'll get on the bench and I'll rep it out for as much as I can. Half the time I don't even count my reps because I'm not going for like a specific rep count. I'm going for until I'm just exhausted from it. And that like it's pretty hard. It's like definitely something that's mentally challenging. You got to push yourself to do it. But once you're done, you feel so good because you feel good. Your muscles are feeling good. It's just that's how I like to do it. But obviously, there's stuff that's more optimal.
No, yeah. It feels amazing. Like even mid set.
Yeah.
I had a question for you, Matt.
Yep.
So I know there's a lot of people who are trying to start on a like fitness journey, whether it's for weight loss, muscle gain, whatever they're on. So how do you balance that? Because I know you obviously have school I don't know if you do extracurriculars, all that, plus like training for baseball, which is very important.
Yeah.
How do you like balance all that? And what would you recommend to people who are trying to start?
So what I would say is a lot of people that I hear that want to either start in the gym or just kind of start transforming their body in general, which leads to a cascade of events, whether it's like when you start working out, like I see that once I work out, I feel accomplished and I want to accomplish more stuff. So it kind of keeps my days, I guess, organized and having motivated through the day. So what I'd say is a lot of people are obviously like Instagram, TikTok, like you can scroll and it's like you get that instant dopamine. But what I gotta say is you just can't, you gotta not let yourself make excuses. You gotta say, hey, like if you have a time set out, you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym at 6:30, and no matter what's happening, unless it's like really important, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna put my phone away for an hour. Like sometimes I can get a good workout in like 20, 30 minutes if I'm really efficient.
Yeah.
You got to just say, hey, I'm going to devote my hour to this, and I'm just going to focus on, working out, running, just kind of getting in that mental state where you're trying to become a better you than you are right now, if that makes sense. I like to think about it as 1% better each day. That's
That's a
something
good mindset. Yeah.
that's something that helps me a lot. But you just got to say, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to work out right now. And there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing my best. You got to cut out the excuses and be able to filter the just filter the excuses that you want to give yourself for not working out. So you just got to start, whether you have a gym or not, you can still go and do push-ups, sit-ups, like pull-ups if you have like a door frame or something like that. Like it's so easy, but just a lot of people, and I still do it myself, but there's a lot of excuses with it. So that's what I'd say. How do you really can start like that?
No, yeah, definitely. It's so easy to come up with excuses. I mean, me and Jacob actually, like last year, we had started going to the pull-up bars by by what is it, like, not Hernandez, by Smith Field.
Brendo?
Yeah, by there. And it's like and there's also some more in the weight room, right? Like there's no excuse not to even get in those back gains, bro. Like we would like right after eating. I know maybe that's not optimal, but it's yeah, like then we would rush over there and get our pull-ups in,
Yeah, for sure. I think that like a lot of people think about it too much. Like what I think is you just gotta not think about it. You just gotta go and you gotta do it. Make it almost brainless. Like it doesn't have to be something where you're like intellectually stimulated for the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
If like for me, if I really want to if say I'm doing a quick workout, I gotta leave house in like 20, 30 minutes. Like also a good thing that I kind of learned is like sometimes I'll turn off my music. I'll just like sit there for a second and just like mentally like lock in. It sounds kind of cringy, but like Arnold said this really well. He said that the muscle mind connection stimulates that growth in that ripping of the muscle. So what I like to do is when I'm doing my, like say I'm doing dumbbell press, like I'll go really slow down and like I'll stop and I'll like kind of imagine the muscles in my chest like almost like tearing.
Yeah.
Then whereas like I'll keep it there and like I'll struggle for a little bit and then I'll try to push it up as fast as I can. Not as fast as I can, but controlled, but
Right.
but in a hurry.
And explosive.
Explosive.
Right.
Yeah, that's the exact answer. And it's like the muscle mind connection is probably the best thing
Yeah,
we could do for
I
yourself.
also saw that, dude, because Arnold was saying, he's like, I see guys who have been in the gym the exact same time as me. They come like every day that I do. They do the same workouts, and he's like, they look like garbage, right? They're like
Exactly, yeah.
they're doing bicep curls. They're looking around like side to side. He's like, they're not focusing and like
Yeah.
really pushing it out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's spot on. I think he's 100% right with that. I mean, like if you go to the gym and you're going, like say you look over your right, you see a cute girl, like your instinct as a dude is gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna try to pick up the 50 share and just swing them and get them up and look real tough. But I mean, like, if you're working out, you can work out for girls, you can work out for whatever. Um, like for me, like I want to look good, but also I want to like kind of give it to myself that I'm becoming better each day. So, I mean, like, if you're just swinging the weight for to impress a girl, I mean, like, don't even pick it up.
Yeah, bro. Like
That's what I think. But I mean, you just gotta be locked in. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say with it. You gotta be good with it. You can't just do it just to say that you went to the gym.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Uh, how do you like manage your time, like sleep wise? Like, do you sleep a lot? Do you wake up early? Like, how do you like time out your exercising?
so how I kind of time out my exercising is like all first things first, you gotta get your homework done. You're gonna want to work out, and when you do, you're gonna afterwards. Like especially for me, I'm just wiped, right? I want to go to bed. Like I'm done. So first you got to get your homework done. Usually before I do, like I'll go and work out. Like I'll do like something like that's a fun cardio. Like I'll go and play some soccer, just kind of kick the ball around, play some basketball, work on my moves. Still pretty bad at basketball right now, but getting there. Um, and get some fun cardio in. You go work out, and you know, you can't if you really want to grow, like you need to have sleep. That's the only way you're gonna grow.
so important, bro.
Like especially for me, like at the end of the day, through all the stuff that I've been doing, whether it's like baseball and then going home and then studying for a few tests and then working out and then having to help my mom with the dishes and make dinner, really gonna depend on what your days look like, but you gotta go to bed early. I mean, what I like to govern my nights with is 8 hours of sleep minimal. But obviously sometimes things come up, you need to sacrifice some of the time. So if I can, like I think like 2 nights ago, I was just wiped. I went to bed at 8, and I got like this was Tuesday, so we got late start Wednesday. So I think I slept for 14 hours. I think.
I mean, that's fair, bro. Dude, sometimes it's important. Like, you should make it so that you're not sacrificing the gym. But if you're gonna be sleeping like 4 hours by going to the gym, it's not worth it going to the gym, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it really depends what you want to accomplish. Like, if the gym is something where you can say, "Hey, I'm gonna get some stuff done," but it's like not something that's like crucial, or you haven't developed the habit yet. Like, especially for me, as I'm starting to develop the habit of like really working out like every day. Not every day. I'll have like a day of rest or 2 days.
Right? Yeah, and you with your schedule.
Yeah. So I mean, like if you're really serious about it and it's how you kind of feel like your day is productive, then and you don't want to skip it, like a lot of times I'll work out at like 9:30. Like I'll work out late, make my workout super efficient, get it done quick. And then, you know, I'll make a couple of eggs, make a protein shake, get that protein in, and then you know, I'll pack my bag, put my clothes out, and I'll get ready for bed. A good way I like to sleep, I know, is kind of like what people think is like you're trying to become a monk or you're trying to become really good looking, but I use mouth tape when I sleep.
Oh, that's a good thing though. I mean,
Yeah.
mouth breathing, like it's proven though that it does ruin your facial features. Like it's a fact. It's like it's not good in any way.
Yeah. Also, like it does like facial features. I knew it kind of made my face a little puffier, but also when I have it on when I sleep, it's proven to make you sleep deeper. So when I use it like last night, I had it on and I woke up and like I felt like I came out of a fever dream. I was just so incredibly deeply in sleep.
Wait, what?
I was just like I was out. I needed to set my alarm back a little bit. But definitely like I noticed that especially if you're a guy that doesn't sleep that well, like mouth tape is great. Like it allows you to get such a deeper sleep, and if you have a deeper sleep, your recovery is going to be better. You're going to wake up feeling more refreshed, no brain fog. So I think I would definitely recommend it. And also, I mean, like it does improve the facial features a little bit, so you can't
No harm there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what's your sleep position itself like on your back? I mean, like I throw my arm under my pillow and I'm like, that's terrible for shoulder recovery.
So what I have is I have like 4 or 5 pillows on my bed. You know, I got 2 on the side that I sleep on, 2 on the don't, and then just like 1 little pillow. So I'll take a memory foam pillow and I'll have that where I'll like be sleeping on my side. And then I'll take just like a fluffy pillow and I'll pop it underneath my arm and then put my other arm beneath my pillow, and that usually gets me pretty good. But also that's probably like 50% of the time. The other 50% I'll sleep on my back. Usually when I'm like really tired and I'm getting a really deep sleep, I'll pop the arms under the pillow. But yeah, I don't mean, didn't really think about it, but that's actually a good point.
Yeah, no, cause yeah.
Is there like positions that are more optical?
I mean, yeah,
Well, actually, like if you sleep on your sides, for example, like speaking about facial features, you start like your face starts drooping over.
Oh,
So
really?
like you start noticing that like if you sleep on one side, you start seeing like a shift in your feel. Oh, yo, that's energy. So more respiratory problems you gain also from that if you sleep on your side over than sleeping on your like back. But also like if, for example, some people like lay on their stomach, and I'm like, don't do that because it's like shifting everything around, and it's like it's too much weight on your like organs, and then it moves like acids and things that shouldn't be in those areas. So it is very important. That's why they always say sleep on your back, and if you're gonna sleep on your side, it should only be for a small amount. Like how you said, you should usually like switch in between that. That's like the best possible option.
Yeah.
But like if you stay on your side the whole time, then that's really bad for you.
whoa, that seems like I've got a lot of.
No, this position of sleeping is really important, and people don't really know about that. So it is a good thing that you brought that up, because that can really impact someone like physically, like looks wise, but also for internally, because you really see how everything shifts and changes.
I mean, yeah, dude, looks maxing, you know, it's a little that's somewhat important, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm not just saying for looks maxing, but like just for like your own like just features, because you just shifting over, it changes the way you look in general. So it's like you go from being the way you were to like being like this new person on just looks wise.
We'll see my glow up in a couple weeks, right? So
He just starts sleeping on his back.
He's gonna be 6'4" and 280 pounds of pure beast in here.
So if you, just a little question, but if you can have like one lift for the rest of your life, or like your only exercise that you were to do like all the time, but you can't do anything else, like what would you do?
That's a great question. Ooh. I mean, like, you know, you gotta love the chest, but at the same time, like, if we're thinking like, if I have one thing and I can't work out for the rest of my life, you probably gonna want to go with something that kind of activates more stuff. You know, I'm gonna go with push-ups. I know it's kind of like
that's fair though, yeah.
It's like it's very like easy to start. You don't need any equipment. You can go high rep, you can go low rep, you can like, depending, like sometimes I'll do my push-ups and I'll like imagine I have like a weight on my back, and like I'll just like imagine that it's like pressing me down, and it's actually like, your mind's an incredible thing, dude. If you think that you have a 50-pound weight on your back, you're gonna feel like your push-ups are heavier. But also, like, at the end of my workouts, like I'll do push-ups and I'll go max, and then rest for 10 seconds, max, rest for 10 seconds, all the way until I can't even do one.
Yeah.
And that's probably like the best finisher you can do in your life. But like you can, it's great if you learn how to master the push-up. I think it's great. You get shoulders, triceps, a little bit of, you can do like different variations of the push-up. It's definitely like a great movement that you can start with anything. So I'd probably go push-up.
That's a solid answer, dude. The push-up is so good. It's also like part of it's your core too. You're getting some core out of it.
Sure.
A little bit of legs too, so it's pretty sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bro. Well, anything else you want to add today?
No, I don't think so. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yes,
It was fun.
Thanks for joining us today, Matt.
Of course.
Thank you so much for being on here. People are really going to like see your insight, and hopefully that'll help them, impact them, and see from a student's point of view how like working out can make you feel better.
Yeah, look as big as Matt one day, right?
Maybe that's a far reach, but yeah, I mean, like, the one thing I'll say about working out, and this is kind of like the one thing that got me to start working out, is like, have a goal when you start it. If you're just lifting without anything to govern it, you're going to lose track of what you're doing because you'll start working out and then you'll be like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, if you have a goal that you're pushing towards, whether it's personal, like if your girlfriend broke up with you and you're like sad about that and you go and do your push-ups, or you like, even you get called skinny by everyone or fat by everybody, or get fun of the way you look, and just like there's so many different equations that can help you start working out, but use some of that motivation and use it to motivate you, and don't go off the motivation, but go off the discipline of it. So that's what I'd say. Just find a reason to start and remember that reason as you continue. So I'd say just, got to stick with it. It's all about consistency. You're not gonna become six pack, just most aesthetic guy you'll ever see in your life in 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta work at it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Some great advice, Matt.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Consistency, people. Matt said that.
All right.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. And
Of course,
Suvir,
thank you
of
guys.
course.
Yes, yeah.
So that's our student section of Cubs on the Mic. Thank you so much for listening.
So
Hello, Coach Woodert. Thank you for joining us today. I'm really excited to have you on the podcast today, and our topic is physical health. Your hosts of this podcast, my name is Suvir Khanna, and this is...
I'm Hugo Pacheco.
And so I figured we're going to take it off with our 3 main topics, which is going to be... What would you like to say them today, Hugo?
Of course I can. So we want to focus more on the exercise part of health, like what's good for you, what's pushing it, all those limits that we can face when we're doing exercise. Diet, which is a big topic that's been brung up, especially with our like age group. And another big thing is like sleeping and like regaining energy, like building yourself back up to recover for like the next day of workout. So that's our 3 main topics that we're going to speak with you about today.
So we were just wondering what your understanding of those current topics is right now, like what you see in your athletes that you coach, and maybe how sleep impacts them and those kind of things.
So not getting enough sleep is never going to be good for performance for any of your athletes. You don't recover as well. You don't process information as well. Muscles don't fire as well. But getting sleep in the high school setting while juggling a 7-period rotation and all the other extracurriculars you have, all of that's tough. What I would say for what athletes have going now is there's a lot of members of the adult community with eyes on the situation and trying their best to find ways to get kids more rest and the resources that they need for recovery. So we're trying to limit unnecessary homework, things of that nature. We're trying to see what we can do to maximize when teams practice, when teams meet, so that they can get everything they need done and still have as much time on their own as possible. So I think we do that better now than we've done in the past, but it's always going to be a juggle. And for those trying to play at the next level, the juggle only gets more serious.
Okay. What we were wondering about is the sleep window and how sports practices really early in the morning or later in the morning make a difference. Like,
so in a perfect world, right, you guys get 8 hours of sleep. You sleep at the same time and you have really good sleep hygiene. If we do that, the body's firing on all cylinders. The chances of you getting to do that in the high school setting, really small. So then if there was a checklist of what good sleep hygiene would be, the more items you check, the better your sleep quality, right? So if athletes sleep at the same time and then wake up at the same time, they get better quality sleep. If their room is set up better for sleep, so the room is dark, the room is cool, they limit exposure to screens within the last 30 minutes of the time that they're awake, all that improves sleep quality. So even if I only got 4 hours of sleep, if I slept when I normally go to sleep and got up at a time that I usually do, and I had good quality sleep, that would be better than going to sleep earlier, but then eating right before bed, and then being on my phone in the bed right before I fall asleep, and then waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. All those things would be poor sleep quality. So I think we'd be better off instructing about good sleep hygiene so that kids get the best quality sleep with the time that they get as they juggle the things that they have to juggle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd never actually considered that whole like sleep hygiene thing. I've never heard that before. That's interesting. Anything else you want to ask about
Well,
sleep?
I do agree with you. Like the process of you going to bed, like you have to have an environment where like the lights are off, you're away from technology, like getting that mindset where you're gonna go to bed. Because like while I'm not an athlete, I'm more active in the morning. So like I would go to bed at like around 10 maybe, but like no technology, no nothing, no eating nothing like beforehand, like so early. But I would wake up at like 4 a.m. But I would be so like mentally prepared and ready. I do some homework if I can, even if it's like do at 8:15 because that's when homework's always due. So like is like that process of just the environment you're gonna sleep in, which I do agree with you, could help everybody, not just athletes, because that's when like your brain's like well nourished. While it's not as much sleep as you would want to have, it's just that's how you would function. So I do definitely agree with that.
100%. Your body is super dialed into routines. So the more consistent your routine is, the more your body will adapt to that routine. So when I got my master's degree, I was still here and I was still teaching and coaching. So then I had to do all kinds of sleep techniques to make it through doing that and then being there with my wife and my kids. So like chunking when you study. I didn't know what that was until I was going through that process, and that was the only way I could get through. So there was no all-nighters. It was as long as my brain would let me go. And then whenever I'm sitting at the screen and nothing's coming out of my mind, it's time to go to sleep. Or if I'm dozing off, time to go to sleep. I let my body go to sleep. I let my body wake itself up. 47 minutes, whatever it is, 20 minutes. When I wake up, my brain's ready to go. But if I try to push through that, nothing good is coming. And then when I wake up finally, I'm not going to remember what I was doing. So just listening to your body, but then getting in those habits and then learning how to do those well, then you'll be good to go. But like figuring out what works best for your body and trying to get as consistent as possible is really key.
Mm. A lot of people also say they're like, "Oh, I'm not a morning person" and all that. So do you notice that in athletes maybe that some perform better at morning practices than they do at evening practices?
Almost nobody's a morning person. Nobody wants to be up in the morning. I don't want to be up in the morning. You are what you have to be. And again, like the more you do it on a regular basis, you just get used to it. So after all these years of having 6 a.m. teams every day of the school year, like if I'm home and it's the summer and I don't have to be up, my body still wakes up. And it's like I have to force myself to sleep because my body's like, what are we doing? You missed something. Like I'm checking clocks. Like somebody's in the gym calling me. Like I should be in the weight room right now. Like your body gets used to it. Now, again, I wasn't a morning person, but that was when the job said you needed to be there. So it is what it is.
Oh, okay. And then our next topic.
So, like, we know exercise is very important for anybody, an athlete or non-athlete. So, what's like a point to where you're pushing yourself too much, or like, because I know people who are athletes and they push themselves and push themselves. They're working out like so much every single day, and I see them and they're always like so tired and drained. And I know that has to do a lot with like sleep and like that routine that we were talking about earlier. But like, how would that like work?
So the big marker for training volume is recovery. Whatever I can recover from is what I can handle. So even if whether it's a lot or a little, if my body can't recover from it, then it's too much. If I'm too sore to do whatever I need to do on the next bout, then I'm probably doing too much on the bout that I'm on. If you continue to push when your body should be recovering, then you're going to keep breaking down. If you stop, your body won't adapt. So it's finding that sweet spot. If I'm doing too much, I back up a little bit, but I keep staying active so my body keeps having stimulus to adapt. The more you push the body, the better the body gets at everything. So we know if I lift weights, I'm going to get stronger, but you also get better at recovery. So like there was a time when I was in college where nothing we did got us sore. I could train for 6 hours and be completely wiped and then wake up a couple hours later, feel like I didn't do anything. It's almost like a superhuman state. But to do that though, then I had to crush myself over and over, and the body would just get better at how it did those things. So consistent stimulus is important. Being recovered enough to perform well on your next bout of activity is important. And then if I'm not, then being able to modify. So if I can't run as fast as I need to run on this day because I'm too sore from the day before, what can I do instead that'll still benefit recovery and benefit speed development? So I'm not just doing nothing. and then let my body recover so I can get back to the intensity that I need to be at for whatever goal I'm trying to get.
Okay. And what we were wondering is for students who aren't in sports and don't have your direct guidance while they're training, is how should somebody get started maybe outside of school who's not in a sport trying to get fit?
So we go over this in health, but like there's the basic set of fitness things that you'll need. So like muscular strength, muscular endurance, right? Some amount of cardiovascular fitness. Mobility is another big one. So if I had to design a program for anybody that hadn't done anything and wanted to make sure that you can move well through a full range of motion, so you have a lot of variety of motions that challenge the body in different directions. If all I did was push, right, and then I'm going to build one part of the body to do one thing, when I have a body that's designed to do many things in multiple directions. So how you would break down a strength program, just in general, I have to push forward, pull forward or pull backwards, push and pull vertical, rotate, and move side to side. So if I have exercises that do all those things, then I should cover the entirety of the body. I need to be able to step, I need to be able to lunge, and squat. So I can do those three things with the lower body. I can do most of what the body's designed to do. If I can do that in multiple directions and rotate, then I have a human body that can function in all the tasks that you need to do. So all my muscles are getting work. 30 minutes or so of activity, a minimum of 3 times a week, benefit for everybody. I need to get my heart rate up to a point where I couldn't comfortably hold a conversation. If I'm doing that, then I'm training cardiovascular fitness in the most basic sense at a level that everybody should be able to do. So like, that's the minimum. Now, if I had other goals, then you start adding on to that. But strength in a bunch of directions, the ability to move the body through a good range of motion, and then the ability to sustain activity for a period of time comfortably. If you can do those things, you should be healthy.
Okay. Well, I think our next topic is just then going to be diet, right? I
Yeah,
already
so diet's a big part of just like your body in general. People usually say like you're working out, and that's how you start like like getting in shape, but I know diet's a very big part of that. So I know people who do like they skip breakfast and they do like lunch and dinner. Some do breakfast and lunch. Like what's a good like system of like eating and just diet in general that you think everyone should like at least follow?
So again, this is another health class question. Which of these diets is healthy? And the answer is all of them, right? Any of these eating strategies could be successful. One of the most important things to consider is, am I getting the nutrients that I need? So whether you eat them throughout the day or eat them all at one time, your body will process them the same, right? I need to limit processed foods, get plenty of water, eat a variety of colors of fruits and vegetables as a basic guideline, just knowing that by doing that, that variety ensures that I get a bunch of different nutrients. So if I had a bunch of vegetables, it was all portions of spinach, I'd get a lot of what spinach has, but not a lot of what the other things have. So if I eat a rainbow, look for lean meats and then minimally processed foods. If you build any diet strategy around those things, your diet's off to a good start. Whatever you enjoy, eat, just eat in moderation. Because if you say ice cream's not a good food to have in a diet, so I'm going to go on a non-ice cream diet, and that's not a fun diet. You're just not going to keep that going. And then you're going to break the diet and be like, what was I doing? So the majority of the time, I eat around those healthy things, right? Fruits and vegetables, eat the rainbow, minimally processed foods, lean proteins when possible. Bam, that's my diet. However I do that, and then eat moderation of the other things that you want outside of that. When to eat, I think it's more important that you eat on a consistent schedule and then listen to your body, more so than saying like everybody has to have breakfast. If your body's saying that you don't need breakfast, then don't eat breakfast. The tendency we see with people that skip breakfast is they overcompensate with lunch. So you make sure you're not doing that. But eating lunch and dinner is a very viable health strategy. 3 meals a day is viable. We have athletes that'll go 5 to 6 meals a day, depending on the calories that they need and when they need nutrition. All of those diets work. It's listening to your body, not eating when I'm not hungry, and then making sure that my body has what it needs when it's telling me I need something. That'd be a better guideline than, eat at 8, eat at noon. Some of these guidelines too, they're put together by food companies try to get us to buy more stuff, right? This idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Like, who's saying that when you turn the TV on? It's not USC medicine, right? It's McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you should get your breakfast. Like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Like, it might not be what I need, depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah. Also, the thing is, like, let's say with energy drinks and such and caffeine, like, I've heard that caffeine can be a healthy addition to one's diet, but think about, I'm wondering in adolescents, kids in our age, how does that impact it? And or what energy drinks do you think people can have? What pre-workout do you think people can take to give themselves more energy?
The best way to get more energy is to get better sleep,
Mm.
right? So I wouldn't recommend energy drinks. The other thing is, if I add a stimulant to my diet, right? Again, your body is a homeostasis machine. So if I'm tired and I add a pick-me-up, then eventually your body is going to account for the presence of that pick-me-up, and you're going to be more tired without it. Also, the effects of that are going to go down. So any adult that drinks coffee knows if I have a coffee a day, they become a point where that coffee a day becomes necessary just to be awake. And I'm not getting a boost from it. So now I need 2 coffees to get a boost, just like any other drug. So I would then recommend against them all as a general rule. And from time to time, if I want to pick me up, whatever is the least unhealthy, right? So make sure my energy drink doesn't have a bunch of ingredients that I can't identify, or a bunch of sugar, but every once in a while, fine. But if every day I'm having my pre-workout, I wouldn't recommend that. The body doesn't really need that.
Okay.
What do you recommend for people who like, because I know there's like after you work out, you should have like a post workout, like so I know people who've like eaten like big portions of food after they work out or like have like a little like protein bar. Like what would be like in moderation, but like still, getting that protein after like lifting heavy?
So a lot of that depends on the type of exercise, but assuming I'm doing some type of strenuous muscle activity, so some kind of strength activity, I want to get, in general, 30 grams of good whole protein, the complete protein post-workout. That way I have all of the essential amino acids I need for muscle protein synthesis, which my body will be most receptive to in the window right after I lift. This is why people that are trying to build muscle are adamant about, I got to get my post-workout something. After that window, protein levels are going to go up. Every 2 to 3 hours, if I wanted to maintain high protein availability, then I want to put more protein back in the body. So I just keep putting something in. So like, again, this is why bodybuilders snack a bunch if I wanted to build muscle. If I'm a football guy, I'm not as much concerned with protein as I am with fuel availability throughout the day. So post-workout, they're still going to eat their protein, but like when I have the football guys training this summer and they're going 2 hours, they need nutrition mid-workout. So they need carbohydrates between sprint session and lift session just to have a better response to lift session, and then protein when they're done. So it depends on the type of training that you're doing. That'll determine what nutrition you need throughout the day. But post-workout, 30 grams of protein is usually take care of what you need.
So, I think we're done almost, right?
Yeah, I think those were our main points because we wanted to cover like points that every, especially teenage boy thinks about at this age. Like there's always like that, like like you have to like work out, you have to be like big, buff, like all that. So we just wanted like students who are in a process of either losing weight, trying to gain muscle to understand what they can do. Because I know like there's obviously health class, but it's a class. Some people don't enjoy like learning like important things that could truly benefit them from a class like that. But
Yeah.
this is like a source that we really wanted to speak to you about because this will allow students to see what they can truly do to benefit themselves.
Yeah. Are there any last words that you'd like to give? Maybe some other advice that we didn't ask you to students looking to maybe get fit or maintain their levels of fitness, boost their performance in a sport, anything like that?
There's a lot of ways to get the task done. So the most important thing is find the way that works with you the best. The rules are pretty general, but then that benefits everybody because you find the way to execute those rules that works for you. So I don't need, like I said, like I don't need protein at 6 a.m. every day. Like it varies person to person what you need. So it's listening to your body and then following the general guidelines and then diving in deeper as you want to. But being happy and comfortable in your own skin is also important. Do you want to get bigger? Do you want to get smaller? Why? Before you start doing that, just know like whatever you're at's perfect. And whatever path you take to get wherever you're going, have a good time. It's all a good journey. You'll get there. Whatever doesn't work isn't a bad thing. It's just one more thing to note in my process where I'll do something different the next time. But there's no real failures in the journey. There's just what's more or less effective for me. And I just keep rolling.
Okay. Ready to cue out?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm Suvir Khanna, and this is
Hugo Pacheco.
and together we're
Cubs on the mic.